by other farms that are using products that are not organic. I wouldn't really feel comfortable like saying like this, like tomato is totally organic, just because I don't know what the groundwater runoff is from the farms around us. And so, when we like take our product to market, it'll probably say something like, oh, we have free-range chickens, but they're not. It's not going to be organic per se in like the seal of approval sense. Partially because the farm's 3 months old and it takes quite a while to get to that point, and we're not there yet. And I hope to be someday. I don't know if this location is where that will happen because of the surrounding fields. It's kind of a startup farm. We haven't been to market yet, but when we go to markets, we'll be selling at the Ann Arbor Farmers Market, as well as Eastern Market in Detroit. Those are the two that are on our agenda right now. The Ann Arbor Market is a little bit hard to get into, actually. It's quite almost like competitive in some ways. So we would most likely start out at the Wednesday Farmers Market, which has actually quite a bit of business.
So there's a difference between the Wednesday and Saturday?
Yeah, the Wednesday is actually during the day. It's not so much during the winter, but even in the winter they have farmers markets every Saturday, and it's packed regardless of how cold it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. So that's one of the goals, Ann Arbor, because it's really close, and one of the ideas that we have is to essentially use as little oil and petroleum as possible. So that not only goes for what we have on the farm, but also how we get our product to the store, essentially, which would be the farmers market. So one of our ideas is okay, so why don't, when you go to the farmer's market, you see all these really large trucks, people bringing in produce from all over the state. It'd be really great if we could, bicycle our produce to market, and use, almost essentially, as little petroleum as possible. So, and then Detroit, obviously, is a little bit further away, not as bikeable. But I think Detroit is really important because the audience in Detroit is different from Ann Arbor, and I think it's really important to make fresh foods available to people in the city of Detroit, which is much more urban. So I think that it's almost more important to sell to people in Detroit than it is people in Ann Arbor. Not to say the Eastern Market is not a sprawling, awesome place, but I guess just from my perspective on the values of partially why I'm doing this and I've gone into it. I think it's really important to make healthy local food available to everyone, and not just people who might be more privileged and live in Ann Arbor.
Right.
I would say I would say that I don't have a complete picture, so it would be difficult for me to answer the question. However, from what I've seen and what I've done, just the networking that I've done in the last 3 months in Ann Arbor, the people who are growing in Ann Arbor on small farms are really passionate. And so there's a lot of organic farming going on. I would say probably, I want to say a fourth of the food that you would see at farmers markets would be grown on organic farms. And it depends on if people are growing a crop organically, or if they are certified organic by the government, which takes several years and is a long process. It's very different from you can grow organically or have an organic product or whatnot, but it's kind of tricky in terms of says who, it's
yeah.
What's your seal of approval? It says the FDA, or not the FDA, but essentially the governing body that would essentially stamp the organic seal of approval. But yeah, there's just a lot of passion around the Ann Arbor area, and in general, it's what I think a lot of people are looking for when they're looking for healthier local foods. They want it to be grown in a way that tastes better and is better for the environment. My partner and I decided that we'd want to start our own farm, and woofing, the ideals of woofing are really cool. Like essentially someone comes and they work, and in exchange for their work, you provide room, board, and experience. So you're sharing skills with them. You're learning from the woofer is learning from you, and it's advancing the cause of organic farming, which is awesome. Woofing is like going to learn about different growing ways of growing and different crops and things like that. Like sharing skills with people, and you're like learning about like different people or cultures or like backgrounds or like cities or where people live. I think that it actually has propelled organic farms in a lot of ways that without the woofing community